Monday, December the 8th, 2025. City Clerk, will you call the roll call, please?
Councilman Twitchell,
Here.
Councilman Gott,
Here.
Councilman Sutter,
Here.
Councilwoman Brown,
Present.
Councilwoman Cordis,
Present.
Councilman Phillips,
Present.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Here.
Councilwoman Renowski. Here.
There being a quorum, I'll call this to order. Everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Please lead us. Concentrate on the words. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, if there's no objections, the approval will stand as written. Council of the whole, city update, city administrator.
Good evening, good evening. Okay. I passed out a form again to everybody. I remember has like a busy night ahead of us, so I'm not gonna take much of your guys' time. General update, the paper project, we received one bid from Penrock Construction. It's currently sealed, wasn't submitted during that period that we were accepting bids, so we're gonna be going out tomorrow, putting that back in and individually notifying the interested parties that did reach out and to us during that process and ensure that we follow the procurement process exactly as stipulated and get that bid hopefully you guys before the next meeting. We're hiring a new full-time worker for the streets and grounds department. That posting should have went live today. Holiday gift cards to the county market were dispersed. The total came in under what we had budgeted, saving money. I am currently on a mission to speak with 100 different companies and or developers to see exactly what they want. I know I've had conversations with a couple of you regarding this, just to get a list of general things they're going to be looking for when considering Louisiana, Pike County for economic development, for expanding their businesses, and for helping our citizens. So currently I have spoken to IHG, that's on Holiday Inn, Voco, Intercontinental Hotels, Choice Hotels, Love Travel Stations, and Viking Cruises. And so far I'm getting the same thing to general. They want higher quality school, they want some are worried about being able to like find an employment base here that they can pull people from. And so just getting a list of the people who will, be coming in doing actual economic development so that we know what they want and we can make that a priority as we work towards it. Street and grounds update. I just want to say the street and grounds, I know a bunch of the water guys have come out and helped with the cleaning of the streets. They did a phenomenal job and I just want to recognize them for that. 24/7 for 4 days, I think it was. And then thank you to the community for keeping us informed and up to date on any of those issues and those roads that were most in need of care. That helps us. They have their specific routes they drive, and then once that gets cleared up, the only way we know what to go to clean and clear and make sure you guys can get around the city again. The only way we know that is if you call up here and you let us know. And so thank you. And then for general recommendations, I currently have no general recommendations for the council. Do you have any questions?
Just one thing,
Sir.
I noticed driving into town just a few minutes ago, here on 79, there's a huge pile of snow that makes you kind of like swerve out into the other lane almost.
Okay.
If somebody could knock that down,
Where's it at on 79?
just right here in front of, I think it's in front of Steve's. Right there by the bank, right there in that area.
Okay. I will have them take a look at that tomorrow. Do I have any other questions?
What they doing that today? Phone.
In front of-
Cleaning the streets today.
Okay. I am unsure. I have been at home working from home today due to recent personal events. I I will confirm with him, and if it hasn't been
It'll take a
done,
little time.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
okay. And we'll have it get done, so.
Sure.
Anything else?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you guys, have a good week.
They were out on Florida Street picking up right now.
Yeah, they've been out.
Enterprise update.
Good evening, council.
Yes.
So just a few things. At the water treatment plant, the contractors been working on the basement. They got the back half completely done. They started on the front half and got half of the pipe sandblasted and the first coat of primer on it. And so they're making some pretty good headway on it. For the wastewater plant, the UV upgrade, Richie has gotten that order placed. And so once it gets in, we'll get everything installed in spring and it'll be ready to go for startup in April. For the distribution, Murray Street ground storage tank, the conduit is in, the electric's in. I was supposed to have a meeting with USG Solutions over the mixer and do the weather and some other personal circumstances. He wasn't able to meet, so we had to reschedule that meeting. Truck 24, the one that we sent off to Woody's, we got the truck back. They were a little bit tied up, being a municipal snow removal contractor, things like that. They were tied. We picked the truck up ourselves, installed the plow, mounting brackets and the plow ourselves, and the chipper box. We actually saved. It was rated $1,000 doing that ourselves. So I think we initially were at like 19,234, and it came back at 18,234. So just internally, we saved $1,000 ourselves. Visu Sewer's got the system, the I&I study. They did that analysis. I still have to have another part of the meeting. We went over all the sewer laterals and mains. We still have to go over the manholes. And then once that's completed, we'll be able to move forward with that process. And we're currently rereading about 320 water meters. So we just did our meter readings with the cold life expectancy of our meters. They're starting to die off even more frequently. So we had last month was 234. Now we're at 320. I know it's on the special meeting. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it now. I reached out to Midwest Meter, our sales rep, and just to get a pricing on the meters, come back at $207.50 each. We budgeted $87,500. It was actually part of the 20-year replacement plan also. And so I would like to make a recommendation to get that. Hopefully we get that approved and get those ordered during our special council meeting tonight. $87,500 is what we budgeted for. That's like 400 and I don't have it, the exact number is like 423 meters. So it'll cover the 320-year debt that have died of, and that'll also give us roughly 100 left to catch up on as the winter progresses. They say that those meters last 12 to 18 years on the batteries. We're at 20 years on some of them, so we've definitely got our money's worth and life out of them. The Nick Baylor agreement that we had talked about, I just want to let the council know that payment was made and sent on 11/25. So that was taken care of, and we're good until the next one in June. And then the only other thing I have for Enterprise is the guys have been, last night they worked about 7 hours overtime. The water leaks have already started. And today we had another accident where somebody actually hit a fire hydrant and caused a water main break. So we were able to isolate it, shut it down, and we'll kind of just leave the hydrant off the grid until spring. We'll repair it springtime. But we're hoping that we can get some video footage of who did that and seek reimbursement and things like that. So that's all I have.
Any questions for the enterprise director? Thank you, Matt. All right. PD report. Streets distribution. And infrastructure, ground, streets and sidewalk,
Write it down.
public safety, police hiring. Ordinance. At this time, do you want to go ahead, Councilman Phillips, and bring up your draft? Joe?
All right. In your packet, you should have an ordinance, that if we end up adopting it, will establish a budget and finance committee for the city council. This is obviously a draft ordinance. We need to clean up a little bit of the language and making sure everything is covered and all that. The rationale behind this is that over the last year or so, I think it's imperative that the council get a little more involved in the budget process. I'm not casting stones, I'm not blaming, I'm not doing anything. But we've had a lot of things slip through the cracks for a wide variety of reasons. And I think if we reestablish a budget committee or establish a budget committee, it puts another set of eyes on the budget process. It's well within the authority of the council to have a budget committee and to be more intimately involved in the budget process. And I just think it's a way that we can move forward to eliminate some of the confusion and again, things slipping through the cracks, a little more oversight, a little more work on our part in terms of being involved in the budget process and being a little more systematic with it, not now, but even being more systematic about it than we are now. Because traditionally, the legislative branch in government in our system is responsible for budget. Okay. And I just think that it would be, and this isn't just for the next budget, or it would be for the next budget cycle, but it's not something that has to be approved in the next 2 weeks. Let's work on it, read through it, work on it, and see if we can come up with something that makes sense to where we're truly following a process with respect to budgeting that may be a little more complete than what we're doing now. So that's the driving force behind the budget, the budget committee. For those of us who would be on that committee, it's going to be a lot of extra work. Okay. But I think once you read through this, it'll be something that I think we can all live with. And we'll just bring more accountability with respect to everybody on government, more accountability for the council, more accountability for the various departments, more accountability for the administrative branch, and just a smoother budgeting process that will allow us, because of the oversight function, will allow us to catch things before they become a big deal. Okay. I mean, the mailer agreement is a perfect example. And I'm not blaming anybody, but now we're on the hook for 3 checks for a big chunk of money. Had we had this committee, maybe we'd have been able to catch that. I don't know, but maybe we would have been able to catch that. So it's just a more streamlined and more effective way to do city budgeting. So I'm proposing the draft amendment, or the ordinance, I should say, and we can take it up in our next work study session.
Councilman, have you, was this draft sent to Mary as well?
No, this hasn't been sent to her. Anything that we do, obviously, would be sent to her for final approval. This was just something I put together to kickstart the process.
Questions on anything, council? All right, we'll move on. Economic development.
I have nothing at this point.
Urban housing, health seniors.
No.
Enterprise.
No.
Okay. Community employee relations. Animal control,
Nothing really was expressed in the meeting in January, the June the 20th, but we're not, they're not that yet. Really gonna get you to the way to get those.
anything with the tree commission? Any other miscellaneous business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So. Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Opposed, like sign. Call the special council meeting for Monday, December 8th, 2025, immediately following the work study session. City clerk, please call the roll, please.
Councilman Twitchell,
Here.
Councilman Dodd,
Here.
Councilman Sudar.
Here.
Councilwoman Brown. Present. Councilwoman Cordes.
Here.
Councilman Phillips,
Present.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Here.
Councilwoman Renowski. Here.
Okay, before we start, council, I just want to make a statement as we proceed through these items for consideration. And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the special meeting of the city council, I want to remind everyone that the items listed on tonight's agenda are under consideration and will be presented for council action. No other matters will be discussed this evening. We welcome all members of the public and appreciate your presence. However, we must maintain order and decorum at all times. I am asking and strongly encouraging everyone to remain respectful, refrain from outbursts, and avoid any actions that may cause the disruption or distraction during the proceedings. Please understand that this announcement serves as the only warning tonight. Any outburst, disruptive behavior, or distractions will result in the individual being immediately removed from the council chambers, so that the business of the city may continue without interruption. Thank you for your cooperation and for helping us maintain a professional and respectful environment as we conduct the people's business. The item on the agenda is consideration of approved personnel protective gear purchase for the fire department. Chief.
So I reached out to Feld Fire, which is where we got the last 12 sets that we just ordered, which was last year. And right now, price wise, they're for a set, which is pants and a coat, is $2,933.06 a set. They do expect a price increase after the first of the year, and in order for us to maintain, I've kind of put us on a rotation where NFPA says that a set is good for 10 years. And with 20 members, we get 2 sets every year. We'll be in a rotation where we'll be right where we need to be. So we're always quiet on our gear. I'd make a recommendation that the council approve us to purchase 2 sets tonight for 2 more of our members. And that would that'll get us right where we need to be. That is budgeted for, and we did plan for that also. I will say, I think we initially had budgeted $5,400. I know we reached out in September and we applied for a grant. That's where that number had came from, which is about the time we did the budget, and with the price increase, it's going to throw us about $400 over what we initially budgeted. So I did want to make the council aware of that.
So you're asking for to purchase $5,800 worth?
Yeah, that's correct.
Second.
First and second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Oppose, like sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, consideration and approved enterprise purchase of the replacement water meters.
I touched base on that a little bit during the work study. I don't know if any council member has any, can answer any questions in regards about that.
Authorized to spend up to $84,500.
$87,000.
$500.
That is in the budget.
That's correct.
And I will say just to just so the plan is if it passes tonight, tomorrow to reach out and go ahead and get half of them ordered. Once we get those on the ground, then we'll order the other half.
Will they give us same price?
Yes.
Is this gonna put any constraints on that line item, for future emergencies or whatever?
No, that was a specific line item for 3 major projects, which was the lead service inventory through Schulte's, the water meters. And so that money that's what that line item was specifically for those projects.
Okay, thank you.
Entertaining motion.
So much.
We have first and second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like. Motion carried. The next item on the agenda is consideration to approve resolution adopting articles of impeachment. Resolution number 10-2025. Entertain a motion to approve. We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah,
If y'all approve that, y'all either get in favor or y'all sucking this dick. Now, y'all know damn well she didn't do shit to get this. So which one is it? Favor or sucking dick?
It's disorderly. Please remove her.
Which one is it? Y'all know damn well she didn't deserve that shit. I'm not taking the elevator.
Councilman. Councilman Phillips, whenever you feel like proceeding.
yeah, thank you. I've given this issue a lot of thought and prayer and taken long walks trying to decide what I want to do. As a matter of principle, I don't think the city council should be overturning the will of the people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please, remove Rebecca Lawson, please.
Don't touch me. Go that way. No, I'll go. If you're going that way, I don't trust you. Bryson, keep my.
That said, I didn't get on the council to have to deal with this kind of stuff. We have a lot of challenges facing our city, and we spend time refereeing what I consider to be schoolyard fights. I think that all of us need to remember that we are public servants and that we are held to a higher standard because of that fact. I don't understand why we have to have the conflict on the council. We were doing so well in terms of working together and everything else. And now I feel like we've regressed considerably. And I don't understand why. Why do we have to keep continuing to have this conflict? And what I mean by that is not necessarily disagreeing and having civil discourse, but the aggressiveness, the argumentativeness, the anger, that's all that's wrong with government today. And it has to stop. We're not solving the problems of the city. We're sitting here throwing rocks at each other. We can have legitimate differences of opinion. We can be heated in our discussions, passionate in our discussions. But we don't have to have the argumentativeness and all of that just makes our government and our town look not serious about our future. You know, if I'm sitting in the crowd there and I see this stuff going on, I'm thinking, you know, these people aren't serious about solving our problems. And some people are going to be mad at me when I say that. Okay? But we all have to work together because, and that doesn't mean we can't disagree. That doesn't mean we can't be passionate about what we feel, but we have to do it in a way that is respectful. We have to do it in a way that appreciates the other point of view. And we have to do it in a way that's positive and brings about progress, as opposed to the he said, she said, they said, you know, the devil crawled out of the river said, why our town is the way it is. And all I'm asking is that we return to civility. Let us be an example as a city government for other governments. We can do this. We've done it. Mr. Gott alluded to it at our last meeting. We've worked well together in solving some problems. And now we've regressed back to this other alternative universe. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight up honest with you. I am 72 years old and I'm getting too old for this stuff.
Councilman,
Thank you. I'm done.
any other discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Twitchell,
Exactly what are we,
To adopt resolution 10-2025,
to accept or not accept?
to accept the resolution.
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes,
Present.
Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilwoman Sherman,
No,
Councilwoman Renowski,
I can't vote right.
She can't vote.
Anyone with conflict can't vote. The motion passes. The articles of impeachment, resolution adopting articles of impeachment against Councilwoman Heather Renowski and setting a hearing date. Council, before I continue to read this, the hearing date is January 8th of 2026. You need to make that correction on the resolution. Will that suffice for the council? We'll pencil that in.
To have time to speak with my legal counsel, so I'm not sure if that date works for my counsel.
Okay, that's 30 days or more notice. Is there any objections to the date, January 8th? Okay, so resolution number 10-2025, a resolution adopting articles of impeachment against Councilwoman Heather Renowski and setting a hearing date. Whereas the chief of police has submitted a written complaint alleging conduct by Councilwoman Heather Renowski constituting interference with police department operations. And whereas the city of Louisiana Code 200.055, interference by members of council, provides no member of the city council shall directly or indirectly interfere with the conduct of the police department or any employees subordinate to the chief of police. And whereas the Missouri law strictly prohibits elected legislative officials from intruding into administrative functions, particularly law enforcement, as established in state versus St. Louis versus Police Commissioners, McDonnell Douglas Corporation versus Clayton, City of Springfield versus Gulf, and City of Crestwood versus Lowland. Whereas the City Council has reviewed the allegations and finds sufficient cause to introduce and consider articles of impeachment. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Louisiana, Missouri, that Section 1, the attached articles of impeachment against Councilwoman Heather Ranowski are hereby adopted for consideration. Section 2, a formal impeachment hearing shall be held on the 8th day of January 2026 at 6 p.m. at City Hall Council Chambers. Section 3, the city clerk is hereby directed to provide written notice of the hearing and articles to Councilwoman Ranowski in accordance with applicable procedures. Section 4, at the hearing, the council shall receive documents and evidence relevant to the allegations and may issue decisions or sanctions permitted under the law. Section 5, the mayor is empowered to oversee process and procedures to ensure due process, impartiality, and to expend city funds up to $1,000 for legal representation, evidence preparation, and procedural guidance. Passed and approved on this day. Motion to adjourn.
I would like to go on record, please, that Cassie Porter's voted present. She did not abstain, vote yes or no, so the vote should not have passed. Thank you.
Let the record state that is correct what she stated, but simple majority for a resolution is all that's needed. This ain't an actual impeachment. Motion to adjourn. Got a motion, second. All in favor, say yes. Opposed, like sign. Motion carried.
Question.